Kol Halal, Kabad, Wath, Ba'arath, Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai. Shalom to the house of David, the men, women, and children that are elected to be saved in these last days. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Citations to the men of valor who told me the truth, and honors to you brothers on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth in sincerity and in the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, as well as you Israelite foreigners that are going to come into the truth. Alright? And you see, as you see on the screen, it says Fool's Paradise. You know, the title of this video is Talk Not Much with a Fool. Alright? And basically anybody that's not in this truth is a fool. Okay? According to scriptures, the scriptures say that basically this world is foolishness to the Most High. You know, so it doesn't matter if whoever it is got a doctorate, a PhD, all that stuff is foolishness to the Most High, because that's not gonna help you in these end days. All right, that's not what's gonna help you, man. The knowledge of the scriptures, was that scriptures say wisdom and knowledge will be the stability of thy times. All right, this is Proverbs 13:20. All right, it says, he that walketh with wise men shall be wise. All right, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. Okay, so you should, as men of the Lord, knowing this truth, right? We should be, trying to, be with the Akim as much as possible, because hey, we all in like mind, we remain in holy conversations when we're with Akim or wise men, and it says, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. Okay, so you hang around fools and stuff like that, you become their companion, and you're gonna suffer the same fate as them. All right, that's destruction. Okay, because the more you hang out with them, the more you start to be like them. Okay, they start rubbing off on you. All right, and then you start getting polluted. And guess what? This is what that leads to. It says that you start to become a fool yourself. It says this is Proverbs 18:6. It says, a fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calleth strokes. Verse 7, a fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul. Okay, because fools don't think about what they say before they say it. They just say whatever comes to their mind. All right, they're quick to speak, rash to talk. All right, and that's why it says call for many strokes. All right, because hey man, if you're a fool, man, the scriptures say that we as men, we got to separate ourselves from them, because they're not gonna lead to, you're not gonna get any edification out of that, out of conversating or associating yourself with a fool. All right, which are these 2/3, and basically everybody that's not in this truth. All right, this is Proverbs 14:7. Okay, it says, go from the presence of a foolish man, when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge. Okay, so you could be talking with a person, let's say you're trying to introduce test their spirit or whatever, or even if you were in the world, you used to hang out with them, but now you got this knowledge of this truth. Once you perceive basically that they don't have the lips of knowledge in them, because all they talk about is BS and foolery. Basically, the scriptures say what? Go from the presence of a foolish man. Okay, so leave them. So don't keep hanging out with them. All right, don't keep doing wickedness with them, because that's ultimately what it's going to lead to. You're not going to get any edification out of it. You're not going to get in any holy conversations with them, because guess what? You try to talk about it, they're never going to know what you're talking about. They're just going to be like, oh, no, I don't want to hear that right now. Or, yo, you bugging out, man. Yo, you annoying with that shit. They're not going to want to hear it. And so guess what? All they're going to want to talk about is foolery. If you don't watch out, you might end up, engaging in that with them. All right? And, hey, man, people fall out this truth because of that. Okay, because of fools, you're not supposed to give a fool your time. All right, this is this is Ecclesiasticus 22:7. It says, whoso teacheth a fool is as one that glueth a potsherd together. Okay, because if let's say a pot is broken up, right, it drops and it breaks into many pieces, you try to glue it together, you spend all that time gluing it together, that's basically you talking to a fool. You spend all that time breaking down these scriptures, talking to them, thinking they get in it, thinking that the pot is going to be good now. Guess what? It's just going to break right back down. And that's just what you're going to get talking to a fool. You're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to waste your time. It says, and as he that waketh one from a sound sleep, verse 8, He that telleth a tale to a fool speaketh to one in a slumber. When he hath told his tale, he will say, what is the matter? Okay, because that's what fools, they can't perceive this knowledge. All right, the Lord has blinded them and made them fools. You know, so you could tell them the whole story, you could break it down to them, and it's like they can't even hear you. You know, that's why Scripture say they're gonna say, what is the matter? You know, because the Lord has blinded them, made them deaf. You know, they can't understand what you're saying. You know. This is verse 11. It says, weep for the dead, for he hath lost the light, and weep for the fool, for he wanteth understanding. Make little weeping for the dead, for he is at rest. Because when you die, you go to the spirit world, you rest. You don't go to no place where you burn in fire forever. That's all BS, man. That doesn't exist. All right, the hell is basically conditions, heaven and hell, you know, because there's different kinds of heaven, but the hell is basically the conditions on earth. All right, because right now we're in hell, you know, we're not ruling, we're in hell, we're under our enemy's foot, we're under Esau, these Rothschilds, these wicked elites. Okay, but when you die, you go to the spirit world. That's why they say rest in peace, because you have peace in the spirit world. All right, so it says, make little weeping for the dead, for he is at rest, but the life of the fool is worse than death. Okay, that's heavy, man. The scriptures say, yo, if you're a fool, man, your life is worse than death. That's dangerous, man. So we always gotta thank the Lord for this truth, because we were all fools at one point, you know, and the Lord took us out of that, you know. Verse 13, it says, talk not much with a fool, and go not to him that hath no understanding. Beware of him, lest thou have trouble, and thou shalt never be defiled with his fooleries. Okay, depart from him, because hey, man, you start hanging out with these fools, like I said before, you're gonna start acting like them. They're gonna start rubbing off on you. It's better to be alone than to be with fools. If you're not with the brothers, man, just be alone, man. Hey, man, that hardens your heart, you know. Just meditate, think about scriptures, read scriptures, watch the videos, you know. Stay in constant meditation. Just think of the scriptures, you know, instead of hanging with fools. All right. It says, depart from him, and thou shalt find rest, and never be disquieted with madness. All right, because I'm telling you, fools, the scriptures are telling you that fools, they only lead to madness, disquietness, chaos. You know, you're not gonna get rest, you're not gonna get peace with a fool. All right. Ecclesiasticus chapter 21 verse 14 says, it says, the inner parts of a fool are like a broken vessel, and he will hold no knowledge as long as he liveth. Okay, this is why Ecclesiasticus chapter 22 and 8 is in effect, why they will ask you what does it matter, because no matter you try to give them knowledge, it can't stick, you know, because their mind is like a broken vessel. They can't hold any knowledge in it, you know. The Lord broke he broke their mind, man. It's like it's serious, man. They can't get it, you know. They're fools, but they think that just because I got a college degree, I got a PhD, I'm smart. That's not how it works. That is just a piece of paper. That's it. All right, Esau. Hey, if you get that, man, you're the biggest fool, because guess what? Esau has tricked you, man. He's put you in the trance thinking that you're succeeding, thinking you're somewhere big, when you're really just an idiot, you know, wasting your time and your money, ending up in debt, you know, for him, being a slave for him. You know, you're basically, that certificate is basically telling you, yo, you've reached a high level of slavery, you know, like we've dumbed you down to the point where you're a good slave, so you get the certificate, you know, to prove that, yo, anywhere you go and try to get a job, they're like, all right, cool, this guy, he's a good slave, you know, he's reached the good level of slavery where we can use him for whatever we want, you know. That, man, that's the ultimate fool, man. You're gone, man. And for you 2/3 and stuff, these scoffers and stuff, man, you guys are just really retarded. Like, especially these Israelites in Babylon, man, you're gone, man. They fit that description, that definition of retards, man. Like, yo, here it is, the prophets are trying to warn you of the heavenly Father. Oh man, the prophets are trying to warn you of what's coming to this place, and you don't want to hear it, you know. On top of that, you hate the prophets, you know, you hate us for that, man. Oh my gosh, man, Israel, man, Israel is gone, man. That's why this place needs to be destroyed, man. The Lord needs to purge your spirits with fire. That's why the missiles are gonna come, man. A million degrees. That's what you wicked 2/3 need. right? Hey, look. Look, it says Isaiah 30 and 10. It says, start at 9. It says that this is a rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord, because they're fools. It says, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. Those are words of a fool. You know, you don't want to know the truth. You want deceits, sweet, smooth things. That's why a lot of these Israelites end up in these churches, because the false prophets over there is pork chop eating pastors. Those Reverend Riff tips over there will tell them what they want to hear. Oh, you've been saved. God loves everybody. You know, and then they just, oh yeah, I just want to stay in this foolery. I love this. I love this. You know, I love these deceits that are being prophesied onto me. That's a fool right there. All right, that's a complete fool. That's madness. The Lord's not dealing with none of that. None of it. All right, He's coming to kill, man. And that's when you're gonna realize, like, damn, I'm really an idiot. Like you're gonna realize, like, wow, like you guys are just gone, man. Like you'll be like, yo, don't like, you know, don't tell me that this bottle has poison in it. You know, I don't want to know that. It looks good, it smells good, so I want to drink it. I'm thirsty. You know, I want you to tell me that it's some sweet lemonade. I want you to prophesy to me deceits. That's what Israelites are. That's what these 2/3, you know, that's what they want. All right. Yeah, man. The Lord is coming to destroy, man. So for you men in the truth, stay strong in the truth, man, and don't waste your time on fools, man. They're just gonna bring about discomfort in your life, okay? And so, listen, man. You gotta stop hanging out with these fools, man. Stop hanging out with these worldly fools, okay? They're not gonna get you anywhere. Hang out with the brothers. Stay in this truth. That's what you need right now. That's the only thing you need right now. All right. So I hope that was edifying to the elect, man. Once again, call Lord Yahweh Shem El Shai. All right. Noble honor to the apostles of Great Millstone. You know. Shalom.